because it's not really defined. It could be a day, it could be a week, it could be an hour. The complexity is going to change per dependency and how you use it.
Hey everybody, it's Hayden again, and I'm here with Josh Anderson from Amwins. Josh, I had to stop him like mid-sentence earlier and just say, listen, we got to get this on video because we were talking about y'all's most recent Vue migration from Vue 2 to Vue 3 and how, it's not complete yet, but a section of it is complete, right? Y'all
yep.
Officially, and just the journey that y'all had taken to that, I think it'd be really powerful for people that are maybe in your place or thinking about migrating right now to hear kind of how y'all have navigated it and the road to get to completion.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have like a seed app that was Vue 2 that we shared with a lot of teams. Yeah. So a lot of teams are running this Vue 2 app with a lot of dependencies from a lot of open source, amazing libraries that from Vue 2 to Vue 3 have been rewritten. So if I upgrade to Vue 3, I can't simply just change the number on a package. I have to rewrite how it's used, how it's implemented. So knowing that the end of life was coming up at the end of this year, it was an objective I pushed as the lead on the team, like, hey, we're going to update this. And it was a task I took on because the rest of the team, it's a big thing. It's daunting. Dependencies, making sure things work. How do you know everything works if you don't have good test coverage when you're changing packages, libraries, dependencies? So part of that was doing the Vue 3 compatibility mode, which makes it a little bit easier to move from Vue 2 to Vue 3 without changing all the hooks and API stuff that changed over that course. So leveraging the compatibility mode as a springboard, it's a small step. And then what we found was most of those libraries had breaking changes from Vue 2 to Vue 3. So it became like, do I spend like an amount of time because it's not really defined. It could be a day, it could be a week, it could be an hour. The complexity is going to change per dependency and how you use it, how sprinkled it is, how well it was maintained. Absolutely. If you're repeating that component 100 times, do I have to change it 100 times? Or did I wrap it with a component and I use it once? A lot of times those things aren't really thought about, and now you have to pick up the pieces when you're doing that upgrade. So we actually decided to throw away most of those libraries. So for example, vValidate is a validation library on form input. Okay. They changed how they went from Vue 2 to Vue 3 with validating an input, binding the data to that input to be a string versus an object. So Vue 2 was objects and Vue 3 went to like more string form validation without a complete 100% rewrite. And the complexity for that, spanning an app that's old like that it's unimaginable, and the regression testing alone after you even build it is crazy. So what we did was we kind of reverse engineered that library, threw it out, and rewrote it. We actually found that we're using less code. It's not as complex. Yep. All the source is in the app, and we were able to understand it and do more styles on it that were local. But that's another thing is we have style experts. We have people that speak CSS. Gotcha. So
how big is the team?
So the team I'm on is about 10 developers.
Okay. Gotcha.
When I started on it a couple years ago, it was just myself. I was the first developer on it, and they pulled from that seed I was telling you about. So the legacy app is Vue 2 probably 2 or 3, like a very old Vue 2 app.
Gotcha.
So now we have a lot of other teams that need to do those same upgrades. And it's daunting. They don't have the same prowess. They don't have the same CSS technical experts or JavaScript or Vue framework experts. Yeah. They just haven't spent enough man hours in it. Where I've spent probably tens of thousands of hours in Vue frameworks, JavaScript, right? Yeah. So the familiarity was there. A lot of people aren't going to have that.
Yeah, that is, man, you hit on so many pieces. I don't even know where to begin. But at the end of the day, it's so much more complex than a line-to-line migration.
No, absolutely.
You really got to think through these things, and I thought it was just invaluable to have you come up here and speak to that, having literally just been through it, right? Yeah. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really appreciate
Thank you guys.
Thank you, and I hope this was informative. If you're dealing with a Vue migration right now from 2 to 3, or you're still on 2 with end of life coming up, please reach out to HeroDevs, and we will get you right, or we'll at least figure it out with you right along the way. So thank you again, thank you, and peace, heroes.